Brian, it's nice to have you on here, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. I can't lie. I just woke up, but I'm happy to be here.
Man, how would you introduce yourself to someone who maybe doesn't know you?
So I am someone that just graduated college. I am a fitness creator. I'm also a fitness coach, and I like AI. And I'm someone that is very driven, but I'm also very brutally honest.
Interesting, man. Well, I want to get into all of that later on, but let's start from the beginning. Like, what was your childhood like? How did you grow up?
My childhood. So most of my childhood, I was like very baby fat, and a lot of people always thought I'd be like just a nerd, always being like a math kid. Like as a typical Asian, I was always forced to do a bunch of math, extra tutoring on the side, just to like get ahead in school and obviously try to become like a doctor or engineer. So school is the main thing. Sports was like pushed aside, and then I wanted to fit in at the time, and I wanted to play like basketball and all these other sports, but my mom and dad didn't really want me to do that because they wanted me locked in for school. And at some point, I was like, dude, I'm sick of this. So I started playing more and more. And then I gradually tried to shift toward like high school sports. And
Mm,
yeah,
man, oftentimes parents actually wanna. They think that they want what's best for you, but you actually, as an individual, know that the best. Really, like, bro, like if people do like what their parents want their whole lives, they never find their authentic selves. In my opinion, like
100%.
having the balls to like tell no to your parents is when you kind of move into adulthood. That's what I feel like. A lot of
Yeah.
people even in their mid 20s still let their parents kind of like decide their lives in a lot of ways, and those people actually like don't feel really fulfilled inside. I feel like they feel like they
Yeah.
have zero control over their lives.
Completely agree with you. Yeah. It's like you're not even living your life anymore. It's just you're living your parents' life because you're basically like rerunning their life
Yeah.
and you're not living true you.
Did There's a chapter in the book The Way of the Superior Man. Have you read that book or heard about it maybe?
I've actually never heard that book.
No, okay. There was this one chapter, live as if your father was dead. And this sounds negative, but it's actually a positive thing because it's like if your father wasn't alive anymore, you would act more like yourself. You wouldn't be trying to please him or impress him because you wouldn't be around here anymore. So you would be your most authentic self. And this is what people always try to impress someone or try to cater to what somebody's expectation of that them is. Either that's a sibling, people on social media, which that's the stupidest thing ever, or a parent or friends. I feel like,
Yeah.
man, it's hard to be yourself nowadays, man.
Very difficult. Very difficult. The media is very good at pushing an identity, and I think a lot of people out there are so fixated on fitting in that it gets very difficult for them to live a true authentic life.
Mm. I feel like that's like real freedom when you can actually be yourself, without a fear of judgment of people, and you have people who actually like the real authentic version of you,
Yeah.
like the unfiltered version of you, because everybody, bro, has that unfiltered, bro, version of ourselves where maybe we make like, authentic jokes, right? Like whatever,
Yeah.
that side of you. Everybody has that. So back to when you were a kid, what did you want to do when you were a kid? Did when did you start lifting weights?
So when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pro athlete, and then I
Mm,
also was thinking that I wanted to be a doctor engineer, but that wasn't the case. And then I started lifting weights in freshman year of high school so I could play football better.
mm. So that's a couple of years back, right? So what would you say were like your biggest mistakes when you were starting just lifting weights? Like one of the things that if you could go back and tell yourself just, hey, bro, you're doing this wrong. What would you tell your younger self?
I would say really focus on form more. And sometimes when you have a coach that is over the top, you might want to do extra research because I remember there
Mm,
was a workout movements that we were doing all the time, like almost every time that we did a workout. And we were questioning why we're doing this so much, but
mm,
we were even actually doing it wrong. So it was like, dang, this coach didn't get us right. And this coach actually got some of us hurt because we did so much of the same thing every single day, no rest.
really?
And yeah, and I would say that definitely need to do outside research, really focus on the form. And honestly, I could have bulked, but I never did.
You know,
Yeah.
this actually brings me to a question. How do you know if your coach is a dickhead or if he's actually a good coach and he knows what he's doing?
So I think coaches do have a place where they need to be brutally honest, but there's a point in time where it's like the thing might actually seem a little off, right? Like if you ask them,
Mm,
why are we doing this specifically? And they don't have a reasonable answer, then you should be a little skeptical or you should do excess
mm,
research, right? It's because there are philosophies that you have to do something consistently and progress over it over time. But if it doesn't make sense and we're doing something over the top, like if you know what power cleans are, right? Power cleans are high pulls. If we do that every single
mm,
day, your body's not resting. It's a very tiring movement. It wouldn't make sense to do something like that every single day. And I would have been
mm.
smarter if I did the research back then.
Yeah, I feel like that's partly like even one of the reasons why people actually quit so early, like after the first few months in the gym, because bro, they do a workout split that they fucking hate, you know. And you can have it
Yeah,
optimized as much as possible. If you hate it, people are not gonna
yeah,
stick to it. Like build the habit first and then optimize, you know. But
exactly. Yeah,
speaking about that, why do you think people quit early, like within the first 1 or 2 months? Honestly,
bro. It's not even 1 or 2 months, bro. I think it's like a week. But
really?
I think so. Yeah. I would say it's because you don't see instant gratification in that, right? Like you see social medias
Oh,
out there, you see that all these platforms are giving you this quick dopamine, right?
mm,
And if people aren't seeing instant results, they're not going to want to stick around. And it takes education to get that to them to
mm,
fully understand that it's not quick. Another thing is it's hard to be accountable if you're going by yourself and you don't have like a coach or a partner or a friend to go with. And I'd say that you need to build momentum with someone near you so that you have community and you have an incentive to go because people dread
mm.
going to the gym all the time. But if you don't truly enjoy it, you have to have some sort of outside help to help you.
Oh, bro, I was kind of lucky in the sense that I was always like a social person when I started going to the gym when I was 15. I just asked people like, hey man, how do you do bench press? You know, and I tried to do the bench press on like you know like those benches where the dumbbells are. I tried to do a
Yeah.
bench press there with a barbell. It was like, no, bro,
Yeah.
like that. There's a bench made for bench press, you know, like with the rack, etc. Because like I just asked a dude, or like a dude came up to me, seeing me doing something wrong, right? But some people are fucking antisocial, bro. Like I feel like the gym is like the one thing that you have in common with those people, and that's like the easiest way to start a conversation there. What would you say
Yeah.
to someone like that's, let's say, like struggling to like speak to people at the gym?
Like
How do
what's
you
the best
make
piece of advice?
how do you make friendships in the gym?
Honestly, I don't do it very often because I'm usually locked in,
Yeah.
but I have done it a few times. One thing is you should come off with obviously a happier demeanor. Like you can't come off looking like a shy person. I would say come off
Oh yeah.
confidently and then walk up to them with a smile and be like, "Hey, nice lift," or "Nice outfit,"
Mm,
or like "Nice shoes." Obviously, start with a compliment. It's just easy. Then say thank you, right? And then you can go into like, "Oh shoot, how long you been working out? Oh, what workout are you doing there?" And you just easily shift it to the gym. It's like
mm.
it's not that difficult. Yeah,
Yeah, bro, that's like the easiest like step by step like for someone that's completely like autistic, you know? It's like,
yeah.
bro, like just compliment people. Like people are like being such like how should I say it? Like you think it's
Cowards.
gay to say to a dude, "Hey, bro, nice shoulders" or whatever. Like, bro, you know what, bro? If a dude said that to me at the gym, bro, I'd be like, "Hell yeah, thanks, man." Fist bump the guy, you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, exactly. We don't get compliments very much, you know.
And you know what? I feel like this bit must have been so much more common in the 80s. You go to the gym in 1985, and nobody's on their phone, so people just speak to each other like random strangers, you know. And
Yeah.
it's been
Yeah.
like just like so much more common, I think.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, man. But honestly, the workouts even feel so much better if you have a gym bro, and that's when you hit the PR and you can celebrate with him or whatever. Like, yeah, obviously, most of the time I train alone too, right? And I
Yeah.
just love like listening to my music, you know, not having anybody interrupting me or talking to me. But like
Yeah.
every 2 weeks, I call some of the boys from the gym, right? And we'll have a fucking amazing workout, right? And I
Yeah.
feel like
That's
the
good.
community around the gym, that's like one of the things that makes it so much better.
100%, dude. Community is everything.
Mm. You know, I want to ask you if you had to give it in percentage wise, how much is training and how much is diet? So it's like, is it 50-50, 60% diet or 40 training, or inverse, or more or less?
For a physique, right? To get a certain physique.
Yeah, yeah, obviously to maintain and build a good physique, like what's more important, diet or training? You know?
I'd say 50 or 60% diet, 20% training, and then 20% training or 20% sleeping recovery.
Oh shit, sleep. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another thing that, bro. A lot of not just rookies, bro. Even like guys that have been in the gym for years skip
Yeah.
on sleep a lot, or like don't take it seriously at all.
Yeah.
Um,
100%. Sleep is the most important part, I'd say, sometimes. Because if you eat well, that's cool, and you train well, but you don't let your body fully recover, you're missing out at
mm,
least 20-30% of the progress you could make.
shit. Yeah, now that I think about it, that makes sense. And even I'm not very good with sleep, but I also I feel like you can fall into the other extreme, like where you buy the Aura ring, which is not a bad thing, right? Like that tracks your sleep metrics, etc. But then
Yeah.
you wake up, you feel good, but then you look at your phone at your sleep metrics, and your phone tells you that you slept bad. So now you just convince yourself that you're tired or that you slept bad, and it's like people just then try to obsess too much over the metrics. Like, bro, like if you actually get pretty good sleep, yeah, but like some people actually have pretty inconsistent sleep, right? And like, yeah, there are some supplements like magnesium, for example, vitamin C that reduces cortisol, etc. Um,
Yeah.
but what's like a few of the best ways to optimize sleep, in your opinion?
So I think one of the best things is obviously get a good pillow, get a good setup, right? If you're a side sleeper, know that you have to have a lot more pillows.
Mm.
I personally use a cervical pillow to like carve around your neck. Another thing is obviously value your mattress. Don't get some trash mattress that's not supportive of what you want.
Mm.
Another thing is I personally love mouth tape because I like to
Oh yeah,
breathe
I
through
do
my
that too.
nose. Yeah, 100%. Mouth tape is key. And then if you want to get more air through your nose, get nasal strips, put on your nose, and it'll open up your nasal pathways. And hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got it right in
But
my bed, man.
I would say those are the main ones. And then make sure you're not waking up in the middle of the night for like
Mm.
anything. You want to stay asleep for the whole 7, 8, 9 hours.
Man, the thing that did a big impact for me was literally buying $20 blue light blockers and wearing them like 2 or 3 hours before I like prepare to go to bed. You know, like
Yeah, that
that's like
too.
it just helps you fall asleep um so like quicker. And also air conditioning, or just keeping the or having a fan or whatever for like $30, just having the room cool. Because bro, I cannot sleep when I'm hot. I can sleep when I'm cold, but like, bro, if I'm
Yeah.
sweating, etc., bro, I'm not sleeping that night, bro. It's like,
Yeah. I
yeah,
feel
that
you there.
fucks up my sleep if the room is too hot, especially in the summer when it's fucking like the Saharan desert here in Central Europe, bro. It's hot as fuck
Yeah.
out here. So like, I need a fan or air conditioning, man. That's like a thing that helped my sleep a lot.
Yeah. 100%. I think blue light blockers are super key. They're like $20 on Amazon for like 2 pairs. You could throw one upstairs, downstairs, and then
Mm.
100%. You definitely need a fan or AC. It's key.
Yeah, because like, yeah, you can turn all that feature on all your screens on your computer and on your phone, like the um, what do you call the gradient color or whatever it's called? You know, you
Cooler
could do
filters.
that. But then you go to the toilet, turn on the light, bro, you didn't do anything, you know? It's like
Yeah.
so like the blue light blockers actually like block everything, you know? Especially if you
Yeah.
like I like to read and have a candle, right? Before I go to bed. Like that just makes me sleepy as fuck. Right now I'm reading the book Ultra Processed People, right? And it's a great book right now so far about ultra processed foods, etc. Um bro, like the candle just keeps me awake if I don't have the glasses. Sometimes I fall asleep with the glasses on, man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man. But like, sleep is definitely like sleep is also what produces most of your tests. Like you produce a whole lot of testosterone in your sleep.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
super important. Like sleep is the most underrated thing because people just yeah, you're asleep, your eyes are closed, you're doing nothing, but your body's doing a lot to fix itself.
yeah, yeah. If you have to choose between, and this is like a stupid question, but if you had to choose between the vegan and the carnivore diet for like let's say 2 months, if you had to do one of these, which one would you actually do?
Carnivore is not even close.
Ah, yeah, me
um,
too, bro.
vegetables, there's some and like yeah, it could be good for you, but like here in the US, like how they treat our vegetables, like pesticides and
Mm,
everything, it's like I don't know if it's even worth it
shit,
anymore.
dude.
And
Yeah.
like a lot of it's synthetic and like same thing, you can see the same thing about meat, but you can obviously tell when you go get
Mm,
some like quality meat. You can see the same thing about veggies, but the nutrients and micronutrients of meat, red meat at least,
yeah.
is just so much better. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like, bro. I'm fucking horrified by the fucking book, the ultra processed people I'm reading right now, bro. It literally, why the fuck do you find glue in bread? In like the packaged bread, there's glue inside of that in the dough. Like that's fucking the
Yeah.
ingredients that are hidden inside of there because they hide it under a specific name or title. But what it
Yeah.
really is something a little like different, like bacterial slime in ice cream. Like, bro, like that's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Emulgators, you know, all of that. It's like that shit, bro. That might take a couple of years off your lifetime, man. And people talk about
Yeah.
smoking, bro. This is like smoking. Like drinking a liter of Pepsi a day is probably worse than smoking. I think.
Yeah. I mean, at the frequency that some people eat bread, it's like, dang, it's
Oh man.
concerning for sure.
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah. And also like carbs are not the enemy. Like a lot of people like actually say that carbs are the enemy. Honestly, like yeah, look, I eat low carbs because it just works for me the best. But bro, I could keep a good physique whilst eating carbs like sweet potatoes and some fruits, etc. But it's like the type
Mhm.
of carbs that you choose, in my opinion, like simple carbs and complex carbs, etc. What is your opinion on carbs?
I personally don't like to eat carbs in the morning. I mean, sometimes I
Mm,
have to, but I would say that if you can, try to avoid it in the morning so that you have more focus throughout the day. But if you are going to have carbs in the morning and then work out, then that's fine. Like if you have a bowl of rice or if you have like a Rice Krispie treat
mm,
before a workout, then sure, that's fine because carbs do give you energy, but you should try to have carbs later in the day. And I would say
mm.
avoid garbage carbs like white bread,
Mm,
like tortillas. Like we want to make sure it's like cleaner stuff. Like I
mm,
would say white rice is better than you think. And then yeah.
mm. Yeah, I personally prefer training fasted for some reason. It's just like I don't feel
Oh yeah.
bloated at all, etc. I like it. I like that so much more. Sometimes I have like black coffee before a workout.
Oh, that's
Bro,
good too.
when I don't drink any coffee for like 2 weeks and then I have a coffee, bro, I just feel like it's so much stronger for some reason, and it's like because your body like deregulates from it a little bit. But I used to take those pre-workouts, those vanilla flavor fucking dirty ass pre-workouts. Back then, when a Bible of ingredients on the back, right? And I was fucking 15, 16, bro. I was just getting to the gym. I was like, I thought it was like interesting. That I would get itchy everywhere after I take it, bro.
Yeah.
And
Beta
I'm
alanine.
looking back at those, and it was like it was fun times, but I wouldn't do that. But man, what's your opinion on like caffeine? Like, is it a tool or is it like it should people like take breaks from it from time to time, or what's your opinion on caffeine?
So I actually don't take any caffeine. I've used pre maybe once in my life, and I thought it was
Mm,
like whatever. I believe that people can honestly not need pre or caffeine because if they sleep well, you don't really need it.
mm,
And I would say that as long as you don't eat like garbage, you don't need caffeine. But there is like some benefits to caffeine, so you can have it. Like I've seen people take caffeine pills, and as long as you're not like chugging coffee, energy drinks all day long, then it
mm,
should be fine. And we don't want to take caffeine past like 2, 3, 4 p.m. because we
mm,
don't want to, drag on staying awake when we should be asleep.
hmm. If you had to only like take one supplement for the next year and scratch all the other ones, which one would you pick, man?
Uh, I want to either say multivitamin or creatine. Uh, I guess you could say multivitamin just because that'll allow you to hit everything.
Mm,
Unless if you don't have, or if you already have a balanced diet, then I'd say creatine. But it's because like creatine's already producing a lot of meat, at least red meat, and then
mm,
if you eat a good amount of that, then you should be chilling. But multivitamin, you gotta get everything.
yeah. I'd honestly
Yeah.
pick probably vitamin D3 because in a multivitamin you get such low dose of vitamin D, like fucking
Mm,
2000 IU or 1000 IU or even less. It's like it's very very fucking low. Um
yeah.
so maybe that because that actually affects your test a lot. That and zinc, like people have
Yeah.
low test also because they don't have enough zinc. And you can get zinc for certain foods obviously, but um yeah, honestly, I feel like for me, like I don't even actually have a big stack of supplements. I only take what vitamin D, zinc, and vitamin C right now. I stopped taking creatine. Actually, I I I don't feel that big of a difference. I feel more of a strength difference than a difference in my physique when I take creatine. I took it for a year straight, like actually like 5 to 10 grams, and yeah, my physique looked better because I was fuller with water, etc. But my strength in deadlifts, etc., that's the biggest thing that I found out. For me, creatine just helps me with a lot with strength.
Yeah. 100%. It's like a natural steroid if we want to call it that.
Yeah, yeah. But like, you know what? I feel like also everybody's bodies kind of like respond differently to it because some people say that they feel extremely, they feel like big, cognitive,
Oh yeah, that too.
upgrades or whatever. Like they just focus better. I didn't feel that at all, to be honest. I don't feel that, you know. So it's like I kind of everybody kind of reacts slightly different to it. And it's also the same with steroids. Like everybody, bro, like some people get crazy acne and some people don't get
Yeah.
any. Some people get all the negative side effects and some people don't get any, you know?
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about hopping on gear?
No. I basically not vowed to myself, but I know I never take that stuff. Like everyone's taking TRT, everyone's taking roids. It's like,
Mm,
why? I don't care enough to get my physique a little bigger, a little more veiny in every single way
mm,
possible, just to get more views or just to be more impressive or just to develop even more body dysmorphia, right? It's like, why are you doing that to yourself and taking more years off your life? It's stupid to
mm,
me. And you're wasting money.
mm. Well, also you said little. There are cases like fucking crazy cases like Sam Sulek. Imagine what Sam Sulek
Yeah.
would look like if he was natty.
Yeah.
that's
I
that's
mean, I
not a
guess that's fair.
little. Oh man, but
But
yeah.
it's just like, yeah, I think there's a bigger sense of insecurity within yourself because, like, why do you truly need that? Like,
Well,
just
some
get
people
as
actually, some people to them like bodybuilding is their whole lives. Like Sam Sulek dedicated his whole life to it. So I feel like maybe in his case it kind of makes sense. Honestly, like okay,
Mm,
Sam is living a very unhealthy lifestyle, and I would hope that he makes it to at least 50. Okay, like with his diet, with liters of chocolate milk and all of that. I wish him the best, but I would be kind of concerned about it. But there are
yeah,
people like
100%.
Chris Bumstead, who actually do cycles with his doctors, etc., and he actually is careful with it. Has a very good diet, has a healthy lifestyle. In his case, I wouldn't really be like that worried about it, you know.
I guess that's fair. I mean, I guess some jobs do require certain sacrifices. I guess you could say you can take roids, but personally myself, I frown upon it for any normal human being that doesn't need to make
Oh
it
yeah,
into a
yeah.
career.
Like unless someone wants to become like literally a pro bodybuilder, I think that most guys they want to take roids like when they're like 19, 20, or just to be the biggest guy in high school or college or whatever. Not
Yeah,
or like just to have the most interesting Instagram pics. But you don't realize that in like literally within a year, like people just get used to it. Like, yeah, he's the big guy, whatever. But it's not that impressive. It's just like a
yeah,
wow effect for a while, but people actually stop caring, you know?
exactly. Yeah,
And especially like almost everybody is jacked now on social media. You go on Instagram, everybody like it's not hard to find a jacked guy. Back in the 80s, jacked guys would be on fucking magazines. It would be like it would be very interesting if a dude was a fucking bodybuilder, etc. Nowadays, almost every 18-year-old is a bodybuilder if you think about it.
yeah. Honestly, like it's so much more like publicized now because social media is so easy to use,
Yeah.
and obviously the ones that are confident enough will post, and usually it's the ones that are like already jacked. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't post their journey from the beginning, and it's kind of like you're missing out the most on that. Like I know that it's kind of awkward for people to record themselves in the beginning, but in my opinion, bro, if I had more videos for my first year into the gym, bro, that was
Yeah,
just
me too.
yeah, man. Holy shit, progress pics, etc., bro. I was ashamed, right, because I was always the fat kid. Man, I wish I took more pictures shirtless when I was fat, so I had what to compare it to now. Holy shit.
Yeah, me too, bro. I regret it. I wish I had more shirtless pictures of me when I was
Yeah, man.
younger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and when you tell that to someone now, they don't give they don't take it seriously.
exactly.
Man, if you had to take one meal, let's say, one meal that people think is healthy but is actually very bad, but it's been portrayed as a very healthy meal, but it's actually shit.
Honestly, I think salads are overrated. I wouldn't say it's completely
Oh,
unhealthy, but like
mm,
obviously you don't source well with your veggies most of the time,
yeah.
and the sauce you put on is pretty darn bad for you. Like imagine you having a
Oh man,
Caesar salad, like it's not good for you.
Pe-
I mean, they taste good, but
people
it's
people
not
put
it.
a shit ton of French dressing on it that just adds a few hundred calories, bro, for nothing. And
Exactly.
yeah, bro, I'm eating a low calorie diet, that bro. People don't count sauces and liquids as calories. That's the
It's
craziest
so
part.
dumb.
And then they
Yeah.
wonder why they can't lose weight. Like, what do you drink if it's like sugary drinks like Sprite or whatever? And the sauces that you put, those also like count.
Let's count up real quick. Yeah.
Oh, bro, it's so easy to get an extra 500 calories a day just with sauces and drinks, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
There are actually like some milkshakes or like latte macchiatos from Starbucks, etc., that have like 600 calories a drink, and people don't count that, and that's
Yeah,
like fucking crazy.
they're massive.
Oh, bro, some of it is nasty if I think about it, man.
Yeah, it's wild, bro. The amount of calories people drink.
Yo, I had this one cousin that was trying to lose weight, and he's doing pretty well now, but he was having a cheat day, and I'm like, I don't really agree with it, but I'm like, hey, whatever, bro. So I'm like, okay, what did you eat, right, this afternoon? It was like, oh, I ate a bag of Doritos. I'm like, okay, look at how many calories is that, and then he like take a picture of it, and I see that, bro, he had the big Chio tortilla sauce or whatever. And I'm like, you counted the sauce too, right? No, no, he didn't. Bro, that shit was 400 calories, and
Oh wow.
yeah, he didn't count that. So not only did he eat a full like 600 because it was a big bag of Chio tortilla chips or whatever. He also like that was 1,000 calories, but he only counted 600. And it's like, bro, like come on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, people just overlook this stuff, man.
yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro. How would you say is like the best way to prevent injuries? Because in my opinion, it's honestly stretching, and honestly having someone review your lifts. These two things, if you it's the 80-20 for me it was, but what would be your like recommendation to avoid injuries?
Form is everything, 100%. I agree with that. You
Mm,
should get like a coach or like someone that actually knows what he's doing, tell you how to lift correctly. Another thing is you should listen to your body more. Like, don't be like a coward, but like understand your body very well to the point where
mm.
if you push yourself on this next rep, is it just pushing to failure or is it like pushing actual injury? That'd
Oh
be a
yeah.
different story. And like maintaining the form during those times are crucial. And I would say being able to put your joints into certain movements safely to train it will help you stay safe in a lot of these like random day-to-day actions. Like if something falls, right, we make a very jerky
Mm.
movement, and if we don't train our body right, we'll get hurt instantly. Or like get out of bed. Like one of my clients actually, I think they pulled their oblique and they've been like injured for like 2 weeks and all they did was get out of bed, and I'm like, that's
Oh
wild,
no.
you know. So you gotta
Yeah.
treat your body well. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I train with a 60-year-old guy, and bro, that one training session, I was 1 year into the gym at that point. I like completely unlocked like a new level of intensity that I didn't knew fucking existed. He pushed me. Like I wanted to re-rack the weights on a squat, and he literally like dragged the barbell back, and he said you got two more, and I actually did. And then when I couldn't by myself, he would just help me right and do those half reps, bro. Like he
Yeah.
actually like unlocked a new level of intensity that I didn't think I would be able to.
Yeah, because a lot of people have that mental barrier that
Oh
makes
yeah.
them feel like if I get uncomfortable right now, I might get hurt, but they don't understand
Mm.
that they need to push through that discomfort to actually make true progress.
I feel like one training session with someone who's been doing it for over a decade, even that knows how to train hard, just that one training session changed the way I train forever. So it's like even one training session like completely changes the way you train or like the intensity that you can train. You because bro, it's really hard to define what's failure. Because if we put a pistol to your head, you would find out that your failure is way further than someone thought it was at first.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so man, like, what would be your advice maybe to be able to find for guys that have been training for like a year or two and they have been kind of like stuck at their physique like for a while or like at a certain weight? How do you find out like how they level up their intensity in their training?
Just in their training.
Yeah. Like for example, leg
So they've been
extensions.
so they've been plateaued for a while. I'd say a big thing is like a lot of people do sometimes train very intensely, and there's
Mm,
a point in time where you need to actually let your body recover a little bit, right?
mm,
And people do things like deload weeks where you do like less volume and it allows you to have your body recover. You're still doing the movements, but at a lighter weight, just so your body can recover every like 2, 3
yeah.
months. And then you need to make sure that when you do have these plateaus, right, you need to do slight variations, right? Like sometimes there's a phase where you might want to do more power or more like endurance based,
Mm,
right? So there might be times where they're just doing a traditional squat, like 1, 2, and then up. But maybe sometimes we need to focus on
mm,
eccentric. So it's like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, then squat up. And like there's a
yeah.
bunch of different things where you could also pause. Like there's a bunch of different ways to approach different exercises to add more stimulus to it.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's like a hard thing to like kind of try to explain by words because it's like something you feel, you know. It's also like for me it's like different muscles. Like I can train biceps really fucking hard, but for example, leg extensions are my biggest enemy, bro. I'm pussying out on leg extensions so early, bro. And especially like when I try
Yeah.
to do drop sets, etc. Like for example, quads are the worst muscle for me to train. That's why my quads are kind of weaker compared to the rest of my body, right? So that's like something that I
Yeah.
need to work on. Um,
Yeah.
but I already feel like got that one muscle that's really like fucking hard to train to failure or hard to train hard, you know, and like, you know,
Hmm. Hard to train to fail.
or like if it's that one muscle that hurts a lot more, burns a lot more than others.
Have you ever trained your hips?
Hips, you mean the adductor, let's say, or how?
Those are no. So like, let's say you do hanging leg raises. If you intentionally do it correctly and tire out your hips, it's pretty gruesome to get your hips very tired. Or if you ever heard of
Mm,
reverse crunches, it's where you like actually
yeah,
attach a cable to your foot and then just basically try to get your knees to your face. It's actually super tiring and it's actually like
shit.
pretty sucky. Yeah.
Never actually tried that, bro. Holy fuck, I never even thought about that. Huh.
Yeah. Hips are huge, but no one knows to like train it and stuff.
Yeah. I never trained my hips. That's interesting, bro. That's something I should look into. Bro, it's so crazy, these two podcasts in a row. So yesterday I had a podcast. Nah, a couple of days ago I had a podcast with Steve Udetong. And bro, he like literally mentioned like training front delts. And I realized I'm 3 years into the gym and I never trained front delts in my life. Like, what the fuck? I never trained front delts, like front delt raises. I saw people doing it, but I remember
Yeah.
Greg Doucette in one video mentioning that you use your front delts when you're sitting on a desk, like all your life, so you don't need to train front delts. And I kind of use that as a cope mechanism or like an excuse from Greg Doucette because I thought that Greg Doucette is a bodybuilder, credible one. And then I realized, bro, like that's a muscle too. Like use your calves whilst
Yeah.
walking, but you don't see normal people with jacked calves. So it's like I
Yeah.
started training my friend delts yesterday, bro, and it feels like the new the first when you first go to the gym, that first workout, you barely train hard, but your muscles are sore as fuck. My front delts are sore as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Man,
Actually, that's funny that you say that because like I actually don't train my front delts very much. It's because every pushing motion basically hits it. Because when
yeah.
you bench, when you do push-ups or shoulder press, every single movement uses a lot of front delt. But
Mm,
yeah, I mean, if you really want to get that 3D shoulder, then you can add in like front
mm.
raises for sure.
Yeah, rare delts are something that I've skipped for like the first year into the gym, and then I
Yeah,
start
rear
seeing like
delts.
a very big difference, like in my shoulder, and the rear delt is like smaller, bro. And it's like I started training that, and yeah, man, it's like again, I could just see how weak as fuck that muscle was, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Rear delts are huge.
Yeah. And also, like, there are some muscles that maybe don't really go into bodybuilding, but are still good to train, like your neck. Because, bro, if you're
Mhm.
jacked, if you're big, but you have a skinny neck, it gives you like uh Los Angeles, my homeless crackhead look, you know? Like if you go through LA and you go through the homeless street where there are the homeless people in LA, and there's that one jacked crackhead that's homeless, but he has a skinny neck but a huge muscles. Right? I don't know if like you know what I mean, but it's like that crackhead. They look like you know. It's like it's
Yeah.
strange. I don't really
Yeah.
know how to
Yeah.
describe it, but yeah, yeah, bro. It just makes it that look so weird. It's tiny neck with huge shoulders, you know? It's like, oh man.
Yeah. It's weird. Yeah.
So I
100%.
started training neck a few months ago and I still got a lot of work to do, man.
Yeah, I mean, necks won't like get massive. I mean, if you build up your traps, it would help.
Yeah,
I think that's huge.
yeah,
And yeah, you can do some neck stuff. It's like pretty difficult, but you can do your
yeah.
stuff with hands if you want.
Also, I would
Yeah.
say that, bro, so the people, man, don't train neck more than like twice a week. Even once a week is pretty good enough. Because bro, it's such a sensitive muscle that if you overtrain it, bro, it's so easy to injure that your neck. Bro, like if you do too much weight with like a plate on your head and you do the neck curls, bro, the second that you won't be able to turn your fucking head, you know, it's like a very sensitive muscle. So that's like something to like not ego lift at all. Like bro, like just do like body weight, like head weight, like neck crunches for a while, you know. And even to this day,
Yeah.
bro, I do like even when I do weight ones, I do like 10 pound or 15 pound like plate. Like I don't do a 45 pound plate, bro. I've seen some motherfuckers doing a 45 pound plate on their necks, and I'm like, bro, you're itching for an injury, man. Like holy shit.
Yeah, it's wild. Definitely be safe with that.
Yeah, but also that can actually save you in like car accidents, etc. Like having a good neck because it actually it can save your life, honestly, in a lot of situations. So that's why it's a good muscle to train.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have someone who you look up to or who inspires you nowadays?
I would say obviously my dad because like he was someone's very hardworking as an immigrant. Some like more recognizable famous people is like David Goggins, Kobe.
Mm,
I think just mainly those two. Yeah.
yeah, I've read David Goggins' book, first book, Can't Hurt Me, and I'm just about to read Never Finished, which is his second book. But the first book was amazing, bro. Honestly, I got a lot of values from it. A lot of the papers on my walls, a lot of the lessons from that book. Well, I can't point my fucking finger. Anyways, it's hard to mirror it through the screen. But you know, like a lot of the quotes from that book, I've written on my mirror so I can read it in the morning, man. Because it's like some things, like a 40% rule. It's a really important thing to remember, man. Did you read his book by any chance?
I have his book. I haven't gotten a chance to read it. No,
I would
but
tell you
I've
to
been into his
I would tell you
videos.
to actually read Can't Hurt Me because I haven't read Never Finished, but I have a feeling that his second book is gonna be even better. But Can't Hurt Me, I can't even like express how much value and how much his story goes more in depth than the podcast and the speeches. Like how much details he goes into his childhood and then his Navy SEALs training and then you know, all of his health problems, you know, like having a hole in his heart, etc., all of that stuff. So it's like his story is very fucking interesting and a lot of gems. So yeah, Can't Hurt Me is an amazing book.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goggins has a lot of value, man. Also, Andrew Huberman, you know who that is?
Yeah. He's very scientific in the fitness industry. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a neuroscientist, but also very much into fitness as well because he has like 2 decades into fitness too. Yeah, I've learned a lot from that guy too, like you know. But sometimes some of that stuff is just like too autistic, like so much too obsessive about some stuff. You know, like don't drink coffee in the first 15 minutes of the morning. Drink it after the first 25 minutes. You know, it's like that type of stuff. It's like that's a little too much. Like that's if you drink your coffee 10 minutes later, it's not gonna make that big of a difference, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah. It's excessive. Yeah.
some of that stuff. But again, I get that it's his passion, something that he loves. So I kind of respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I want to get into some rapid fire questions before we wrap up.
Oh yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, what's the best advice you've been given?
To win in the game, you have to stay in the game because if you're not in the game, you can't play the game.
Hmm. What's the worst advice someone has given you?
Worst advice? Oh man.
Mm. Someone giving
Um,
you real stupid advice.
I've had someone give me business advice and they've never been in the industry and they're just telling me you got to have a website.
Oh.
Like that's the most important thing ever. I'm like, it's really
Mm.
not. Like websites are overrated for creators, I'd say. So I was like, yeah, no, you don't need to tell me this, but go on,
Mm.
yap away. Yeah.
If you had to do only 10 exercises for the next year to maintain your physique, which 10 exercises would you choose?
10 exercises. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
to hit every muscle group.
squat, hip thrust, bench, push up, pull up, a row. Let's just do chest supported row, shoulder press,
Mm.
lat pull down, for abs. Oh, last ones are hard. Sled work. And then
Ah,
lastly would be, I think, jumping.
huh. Bro, you completely skipped biceps and triceps.
I don't, because I actually don't train isolation. Is because
Oh.
like at this point, if I just care about pure strength, the physique, sure, but it's more so I just want to be really strong for me.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense why I
Yeah,
would not train like calves and shit like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. How many times do you train a week nowadays?
I train 5 to 6. Yeah.
Hmm. So, you see, I tried training 7 days a week and run some different muscle group every day, but I feel like the problem with that is as a natty, not just the recovery that you can find a muscle group that's not sore that day, sure, but the cortisol that's going to be decreasing your test, that's going to be running through your body if you train every single day and you don't give your body time to rest. It's not just about the muscle recovery, but about your hormones because cortisol is going to be through the roof. That's the stress hormone, which means your testosterone is going to go down. So that's the reason why I would take that at least that one day out of the week. And I've been experimenting with training only 3 times a week nowadays. Honestly, I could, like only back, then chest and arms and shoulders, and then legs. But it's just not fun. So I just like I do arms, then I do back, then I do chest, then I do legs, and then I just want to hit something again. Like I'm prone to go to the gym again and again. Because I just like love it so much. Is it
Yeah.
hard sometimes to not go to the gym when you shouldn't?
So I have my specific training days for like lifting and calisthenics and
Oh.
all that stuff. But I think the thing is, I like sports too much. So like I'll usually come out to like basketball or like pickleball or like
Mm,
volleyball or something. And that would be an extra training day. Like
mm,
people might not deem it as like insane training for themselves. Personally, I don't, but it is taxing to your body.
mm. Yeah, I do boxing and I like that too, but nah, it's
That's
not,
good stuff.
there's nothing like getting a great pump in the gym, man. It's just like, oh man. But when you do like a sport like boxing, for example, for me, after like a really hard chest day, and I just tried to throw a right hook, and my chest hurts like hell, bro. It's like horrible, and you feel those muscles if they're sore from a workout. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to. Sometimes it's hard to balance it, those days. But yeah, that's why I should train like 3 times a week. But again, I can't stay away from the gym really that much.
Yeah. I feel you there.
Yeah. What would you say was the proudest moment in your life?
Proudest moment of my life? Hmm. I'd say honestly being able to get away from like the traditional Asian life of like
Mm,
needing to become a doctor, engineer. Like it wasn't like a moment, but it was like a realization.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, honestly. I can't relate to
Yeah.
it, but I can imagine it kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. What advice would you give to your let's say 17-year-old self? If you could have another conversation with him.
I'd say focus on one path more, like in business, fitness too, or like anything. Try to have one alignment, one goal for each sector of your life.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, honestly. Man, Brian, thanks a
Yeah.
lot for taking time out of your day for this, man. This podcast has been amazing.
Appreciate it,
What's
man.
next? What's next for you, man? What are you doing this year?
Um, just continuing the business, continue to train, trying to dunk, get my calisthenics skills, and then travel probably.
Mm. Okay, man. God bless you. Where can people find you?
I am at Mr. Diversify on Instagram and most platforms, or you can look me up at Brian Ninh. I'll probably pop up.
Yeah, guys, I'll put all his links in the description. Thanks a lot for watching till the end. Any final words for the people watching? Maybe a quote from you to take after the podcast.
I think one of the biggest regrets you'll ever have is never trying. Because honestly,
Mm.
this life is too short to not give it your all in a life that you've always wanted.
Oh, bro, I love that. That's something that a lot of people don't take seriously. They procrastinate on something that they want to try but they don't. So that's like a very good piece of advice. Guys, thanks a lot for watching till the end. Catch y'all on the next one.
Peace.